See, Google is like my sister, all right? She wants you to think that she knows everything about everyone, but really all she's doing is connecting you to other people's unverified stories. Whereas like my mom is more like the NSA, right? She wants to know everything about everybody, but she doesn't want anyone to know. So the moral of the story is, don't teach mom how to use Google. While we're talking about the NSA, good segue, I was running away from these cocksuckers for 3 years. Turned out they weren't chasing me. Yeah, I got a little paranoid. Alright, so it's normal to get paranoid if you spend your days trying to shut down the federal government, one public library computer terminal at a time. Up until the end of this sentence, I was a member of this internet activist group called Anonymous. That takes a second. Huh? Anyways, so I was in the airport in San Diego. I was sending this text message to my brother. Said, "Yo, dude, they're going to have to shut down San Diego International after they find the bomb I dropped in the bathroom." Yeah. And then it said, "Message not sent." I said, "Fuck, NSA." So I did what probably any of you guys would have done in the same situation. I got the fuck out of the airport. Took a picture of my dick, uploaded it to a senator's Instagram account, shut down the government for 2 weeks so I could sneak across the country, changed my name, and lived in a dead man's basement for a year while I taught high school physics. Just me. Yeah. So when I shut down the government for a couple of weeks, all these federal government employees had to keep doing their jobs, but they weren't getting paid to do it. Which creates some interesting scenarios. Like, when I used to work in a lab, and I got paid to cut the eyeballs off of animals and cut their heads off, and I was called a scientist. And if you work for the military and you go to brown countries and you get paid to shoot people, you're called a soldier. Here's a riddle for you. What do you call us when we keep killing shit but we don't get paid to do it? Hobbyists. It makes us hobbyists. That's not to be offensive. If you, I have the utmost respect for people that choose to make the world a better place despite financial incentives. I call them comics. Yeah. Where were we? So I moved back to New England. Oh, yeah, my family's from Connecticut. So when I moved back here, I had to have that nice conversation that every young man has to have with their parents at some point, where you tell them you didn't move back to New England because you missed them, you moved back because you were running from the NSA. And yeah, my old man didn't say anything. He just looked at me and he's like, "So is that why you dress like shit?" And Mom bought me a new pair of sweatpants. She said my gray pair makes me look like a homeless person, but blue sweats make me look like a basketball player. My sister says I look like a homeless basketball player. Yeah. And where to next? NSA, conversation with parents. Well, it's just good to be home, because now I got the support of my family, and now I can start to fight back against these text message reading Nazi surveillance assholes. That's my acronym, NSA, real fucking creative, right? So in case you're wondering, yeah, I became a terrorist, and you can too. Very simple. Step 1, stop sending dick pics. Start sending shit pics. Right. There is somebody in Washington, D.C. that we all collectively pay to look at pictures of my shit. About 3 to 9 times a day. And second, you may, if you're not that comfortable, you could buy a pay-as-you-go phone, and then it's a little like more passive-aggressive. Especially if you're going to do this one. All right. So now I send text messages giving false hints as to where the next attack might happen. Like, sent a message that's like, so they're never going to find all the uranium we filled out in those hollowed out dildos at Very Intimate Pleasures. And then you sit back and watch the show. Now, if your imagination is hung up on how big the dildos are, that means you're normal. Is this a fat man? Is this a little boy? Well, folks, this is the one situation where size does not matter. I want you to instead focus your attention on the idea of a room full of grown adults in uniform trying to wrestle a bunch of dildos to snap them in half who think they're saving the world. So I'm not being chased by the NSA. You don't have to leave. No, there. I was thinking about that day in the airport, and I was like, wait a minute. Maybe I overreacted. Message not sent. Maybe I just didn't have reception. Right? But I had to know. And I thought there's only one way to find out if the NSA is tracking you. So I went big. Sometimes I do that. And I went to a comedy open mic, and I announced on stage that I was going to assassinate the president. Just to see what had happened. Nothing. Fucking nothing. Do you have any idea how insignificant you feel when you're announced that you're going to kill the president and nothing happens? That's a lonely day. Got a little weird here. A little bit. We're going to, all right, in summary, fuck the Westerly police, fuck the NSA, and while we're at it, hey, fuck your significant others, because it feels good and it's free.